This is the reminder move for Awareness Through Movement lesson number 268, Hip Joints by the Way of Lengthening. Please lie on your back with both of your arms on either side of your body. Gently scan yourself for spaces in which your body lifts up away from the floor and where your body presses down into the floor. After you have a good idea of how you come into contact with the ground, extend both of your arms up above your head with the back of your hand on the ground. Spread your feet and your arms comfortably wide. Stand your right foot and extend your left leg out to the side and allow it to roll outward, so it lies on its outside edge. But don't force it to get it there. Just allow it to kind of go to a place that's natural, tilted or turned towards the outside. Now begin with the move with your pelvis in a way so that your leg can lengthen and then get shorter. So you've got to do something funny to tilt your pelvis over towards the left. Lengthen your leg down along and then allow that leg to come back into your body. And repeat this movement just gently and easily. So sliding your leg long, tilting your pelvis towards the side, and using your opposite hip joint to allow that long leg to get longer. And then begin to do this movement a little bit more quickly and easily. And then leave this alone and let yourself rest. And again, extend both of your arms up above your head with the backs of your hands on the ground, and then spread your feet and your arms comfortably wide. And this time stand your left foot and extend your right leg out to the side, and allow your right leg to roll comfortably towards its outside edge. Don't force it, but just allow it to get to a place that's comfortable. And then begin to do the same movement that you did with your opposite hip. Tilt your pelvis in a way that your right leg can lengthen and then get longer. So you slide your right heel along the ground using your left hip joint to kind of push that pelvis over towards the side and down long through your leg. And then begin again to do this easy and quickly. And then leave this alone and let yourself rest. And just check in with yourself and notice if there's a difference between when you were lying on the floor before and you were checking in and the way that you are now. Is there less space? Do you feel more contact with the ground? Now this time, place both of your hands behind your chest, as high up as you can get them comfortably. And put your right hand on top of your left, so that your left palm is actually on the floor. And then spread your feet comfortably wide. Stand your right foot, so you bend your right knee, your right foot is standing. And allow your left leg to roll towards the outside and slide a little bit towards the left. And again, begin to move your pelvis in a way so that your left leg can get longer and then get shorter. And you've got to do that funny little tilt, and using your hands and your back like a fulcrum to allow your pelvis to get tilted over to the side and your leg to go long and then come back. And then again, do the same thing a little bit quicker, a little bit easier, and a little bit softer. And then leave this alone and let yourself rest. And again, bring your arms back behind your chest. And this time put your left hand on top of your right so that your right palm is on the floor. And see if you can actually slide your hands up a little bit more comfortably or farther up along your chest. Your feet are spread comfortably wide. Stand your left foot on the ground and extend your right leg out to the side and allow it to roll toward its outside edge. And just as you did before, begin to move your pelvis in a way that your leg can get longer and then come back. So you slide that leg as long as you can, tilting your pelvis a little bit over towards the side, and then coming back. And again, you can do the same thing a little bit quicker, a little bit faster, and a little bit easier. And then leave this alone and let yourself rest. Now extend both of your arms up above your head so the backs of your hands are on the ground. Spread your feet and your arms comfortably wide apart so you look like a big X on the ground. Stand your right foot and extend the left leg out to the side and allow it to roll toward its outside edge. And this time lift your left leg without turning or rolling it. Keep it turned towards that outside edge. Lift it about 1.5 feet or so up off of the ground. Not really high, just something easy. And notice that your right hip lifts off of the ground and away from the floor. Now begin to move your pelvis in a way that your right hip will actually come back down to the floor and then let that go. So you're using your right hip, your waist, your back, your pelvis to kind of pull down that hip over towards the side and then come back. You're not lifting and lowering your leg at all. The movement comes from your pelvis, your hip, and your waist. And then repeat this movement easy and gently 10 to 15 times or so, just over to the side and then back. And do the same thing, a little bit quicker, a little bit easier, and a little bit softer. And then leave this alone, let yourself rest. And then come back to extending your arms up above your head. The backs of your hands are on the ground. Spread your feet and your arms comfortably wide apart. And this time stand your left foot up off of the ground. Take your right leg out to the side and allow it to roll toward its outside edge. And then lift your right leg, just as you did before, without turning or changing it, about 1.5 feet or so. And notice that this time your left hip lifts up off of the ground. Now is it different from your right to your left side? And do the same movement that you did before, but on the opposite side. Do that funny little thing with your pelvis to pull it back down towards the floor, using the muscles of your pelvis, your hip, and your waist to pull your hip down, lift your leg gently. It's not lifting and lowering your leg that gets the movement. It's actually your hip, your pelvis, and your waist. And then slowly let it come back down, and then lift, and then let it come back down. And again, do this movement a little bit quicker, a little bit faster, and a little bit easier. And then leave this alone and let yourself rest. And then leave this, go ahead and come back and bring your arm.